it's me, Lauren again. Hi! So I have a little bit of a cold, so if my voice sounds a little weird, that's why. But I wanted to make this video today to talk about the 10 ways I've figured out how to survive a Japanese winter. So what you may be thinking now is like, so is it really that cold in Japan? And it actually is. I mean, it's colder, like I'm from New Jersey, and it definitely gets colder back home in New Jersey than it does here. But in Japan, like they have like single pane windows, very little insulation. So like your house is basically really drafty. And I find that usually the inside of my apartment is about like 10 degrees warmer than it is outside. So if it's 40 degrees outside, it's 50 in here. If it's 30 degrees outside, it's 40 in here. So it can be very cold. I don't remember where I read this, but I did read somewhere that it is actually colder inside houses in Japan than it is inside of houses in Russia in winter. So yeah, there are definitely some things that need to be that would be great to be prepared for. So these are things that like this is my second winter here in Japan. These are things that had I known them before my first winter here, I would have been much more comfortable and much better able to survive. I would have slept better. It would have just been so much better right from the get-go. So I'm going to teach these things to you so that hopefully you have a better winter than I did. Number one is a kotatsu. So if you don't know what a kotatsu is, or you want more information about a kotatsu, you can check out my video, which will be somewhere over here, that I made just talking about my wonderful kotatsu. But kotatsus are wonderful. They're basically like heated tables with like a blanket, so that you're not heating your whole drafty apartment. You're only heating the area underneath the kotatsu table, and you sit underneath it and you get really warm. And it does help warm your room a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. So they're really great to have. But if you live in a very small apartment, like a 1K apartment, like most people first start out living in, like a 1K Leo Palace apartment, you probably don't have enough room for a kotatsu. And if that's the case, it's quite unfortunate, I know. I really wanted a kotatsu, but if that's the case, you can get a like hisakake denki mafura. So that's basically like a blanket, like a heated electric blanket that's big enough just to put over your lap. And that's much more economical than a space heater. Number two is a heated blanket. So yeah, basically I have a denki mafura, like a heated blanket that is big enough to use as like something to sleep on, like a mattress pad. It's not technically a mattress pad, it's really but it is one of the uses it says in the directions. But basically I turn that on, if I can sleep with it on if I leave it below the medium setting, and I don't have to like shiver for an hour to like warm my bed before I go to sleep. Like, it's so wonderful. Like, I sleep so much better now that I have that in the winter rather than like shivering in my futon. So if you can do that, definitely get that. If you do have a futon though, it may or may not be really difficult to use one of these, like an electric blanket. And if that's the case, what you can do is get a yutanpo, which is not anywhere near as great as an electric blanket. But you can get them at the 100-yen store too sometimes, or your local grocery store might have them. But they're basically like hot water bottles, and you've put hot water inside of them, and it will help preheat your bed basically. And they are nice to have, but they're not anywhere near, and they're not even comparable to the awesomeness of an electric blanket. Number three is a space heater. Space heaters are really nice, especially if you don't have space for a kotatsu. In this room, my living room, I actually don't have a space heater. I have blankets and a kotatsu that I use to keep warm in my living room area. My space heater is actually in my bedroom upstairs. And basically I use it to warm my room before I go to bed, which is great. So I get up there after I take a shower and I'm like kind of warmish. So that's really nice. And I also use it to get changed by early in the morning when it's like super duper duper cold in my room. I like sit there and like quickly get my clothes on in the cold. But they are really, really nice to have. There are a variety of different types that you can get. I just have like an electric one. The kerosene heaters are dangerous, but they're not as dangerous in Japan as they are elsewhere. I don't have experience using them, but you also have to keep your room ventilated if you use a kerosene heater, and that may or may not be difficult to do. 4. Heat tech. Oh, heat tech is so great. I don't know if you can see it, but I have like a black shirt on underneath this shirt, and basically that is a heat tech shirt from Uniqlo. Uniqlo is sort of like, they make like really cheap clothing, kind of like basic cheap clothing, like kind of like American Apparel or like Old Navy or something in the US, but they're like, it's very good quality. And what they do in the winter is they make heat tech, which is just awesome. They're basically like undershirts. You can get them in a variety of colors and styles and stuff, and they're all less than 1,000 yen. And they have sales on them like all the time in the winter, and they're just great. I wear like 2 different ones when I go to school. When I go to work at school, because at schools in Japan, public schools in Japan, they do not have heaters in the classroom generally. Sometimes they do, but they're gas heaters, so they don't really like to use them, and you have to keep the room ventilated if you're using a gas heater. So not really that convenient to use, but mostly their rooms are heated with the body heat of everyone inside the room. So having 2 heat tech shirts is wonderful. So I would highly suggest getting those. But if you don't live near a Uniqlo, you can buy them online. They have an online store, and you can also get shirts like this from your local convenience store. Usually they have some, but not in the variety of sizes and styles that they would have at Uniqlo. Number 5 is fleece pajamas. Do not wear cotton pajamas. I don't remember where I heard this, but like cotton kills. Cotton is so cold. So cold. I didn't know this originally, and I'm like shivering to death like at night, and I'm like, why am I so cold? When I had like a cotton shirt on. And for Christmas, like my last year, I got fleece pajamas because I told everyone that I was really cold, so give me warm things. And so I put those on, and the difference is unbelievable. Like if I were wearing fleece pajamas right now, I could just wear that. I don't have to wear like an undershirt or anything, and I could still be really warm. They're really, really, really fantastic. I highly, highly recommend you to get some fleece pajamas. They keep you warm, but like not too warm. They're really, 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 really fantastic. Definitely get them. And they dry really quickly. In Japan, you generally don't have any dryers. I don't know anyone who has a dryer. But basically, if you have things that dry quickly, that's fantastic. So definitely get some fleece pajamas. You can get them online, you can get them, Uniqlo has some. Basically anywhere that sells clothing or pajamas will have fleece pajamas. Number 6 is sweaters. Sweaters. I wear sweaters every day to work now in the winter. A sweater and like 2 undershirts, and I'm still like, I'm so cold all day. But yeah, they're fantastic. Definitely get some sweaters. Again, Uniqlo. I feel like I'm not sponsored by Uniqlo, but they're great, and they do have a lot of good cheap sweaters. You can get cheap wool sweaters. You can get cheap cashmere sweaters there. Any mall or store will have sweaters. You can get them online. You can bring them from home. Yeah, sweaters are really wonderful for winter, and generally they are work appropriate. Next, blankets, especially fleece blankets. I have an Afghan that my mom made me that she sent me my first winter here, and that's fantastic. And I use that on my bed to sleep in. But here in my living room area, I use like fleece blankets. They're like off screen. I don't know if you can see them. Here's like a fleece blanket like from my college that I bought at college that I used, and it's nice. It's not big enough to use to sleep with, but it's great. And I have this other like fleece blanket thing that over here. This one I bought here in Japan. I bought it online. and it's basically like kind of like a poncho, like a cape. Like I could put it on. It has like a button that I can put it on here, and I don't know. It's really nice. And it's just really great. I like those blankets. But yeah, I could sit here in my room. Like right now, this room is how much? It's like 16 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so I'll put that when I edit the video. I'll put that in. But it's not super cold for me, but it's probably really cold compared to most houses in America right now. Yeah, but if I have just these two blankets on, I'm not super cold, which is great. Number 8 is bubble wrap, which you might think, what? What are you going to do with bubble wrap? Are you going to wear it? No, you're not going to wear it. You're going to put it on your windows. You can tape it onto your windows, because as I said earlier, windows are generally single panes. So in this room, it's actually a door. I don't have bubble wrap on there because I wouldn't be able to open it. If I don't want to open it in the winter, but if I ever did open it, I couldn't really, if they had bubble wrap taped to it. But I do have that in my bedroom upstairs, and it is so much less drafty in there. It's still a little drafty because like the walls themselves are kind of thin. But having the bubble wrap on the windows helps a lot. Just to make you don't feel like the wind in the room. It's like so much better. So you can get bubble wrap at your like 100 yen stores, or I don't know, like most. I don't know. You could find them most places. I got the bubble wrap I used in my windows because it was like a bigger size than you can get at the dollar store. I got that at my local supermarket. So you can definitely find some if you want to, like, you know, make your windows warm. Number 9 is slippers. So slippers, you know, are slippers, you know, but they're great. Especially if you have wooden floors, like I have in most of my apartment. So you know, those are cold in the winter. So if you have slippers, you can walk around and do stuff, and you know, not like, it's not painfully cold every time you take a step. So yes, definitely get some slippers, and you can get those at 100 yen stores or your supermarket, really anywhere. They have slippers everywhere. Slippers are really popular here. And last is bed socks. So I have like a bunch of fleecy bed socks that I wear to bed, and I've been wearing them to bed since like November. And yeah, they're really, really great. They keep your feet nice and warm. And you know, if you're walking around your house and you wear the fleece socks, like sometimes you don't need slippers. They are just wonderful, and you can get those most places, again, or your local supermarket, your local clothing store, you can get them at the 100 yen store. But yeah, you can get them pretty much anywhere. I would highly recommend using them. So I hope that you found like these 10 things like really helpful, and I hope that your first winter here and your winters to come are much, much warmer than mine are. And if you have any suggestions, like you've lived through many more Japanese winters than I have, if you have any other suggestions, please put them in the comments below, because I'm sure that, you know, myself, when I read them, and like other people who read the comments, will find them very helpful to use. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay warm this winter. Goodbye!